Okay, welcome to my review of Battlestar Galactica. Now, I wanted to do a full review of this game because it just came out today, and I wanted to kind of give you guys basically my pros and cons list and to see if you should buy it. Let's just dive right into it. Okay, guys, so let's start off with the pros here. So the first thing I wanted to mention before we start off anything is I want to show you how detailed these ship models are. Now, this is the 1978 Battlestar. As you can see here, it's absolutely gorgeous. They even put in the lights, as you can see down the pod bays. I mean, unless you zoom in this close, you really can't. They literally run up and down. That's the attention to detail that they did to this game. Lighting effects on the ship models, look how beautiful that looks. And this is not even running all the graphics on Ultra. So it looks even better than this game-wise. It's insane. So that's one thing I really do appreciate. This is the 1978 1970s Battlestar. I don't know if it's 78 or one of the other years, but as you can see, they spared no expense in making these ships absolutely gorgeous. Over here, I got the. Let me move this thing up here a little bit so I can get a little closer to the ship. So as you can see, this is the 2000s, the new Battlestar Galactica television series. The bigger, stronger brother of the 1970s. You can see the turrets there. Get a nice view from the top down here. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, the one thing I get really amazed at is just the level of detail on these ships. It's absolutely gorgeous. Modeling even the forward guns here. So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out because the ship models in this game are absolutely stellar. I mean, it's incredible. The second thing I wanted to put out, the next pro, is the user interface here. So as you can see here, it looks like they just took the user interface from the television series and then put it right on this game. And it immerses you at a level that is incredible. Because I mean, like when you're looking at this, I feel like I'm looking at the greatest consoles on the actual Battlestar Galactica television. So that's pretty sick. Going back to immersive, this game is very immersive. It brings you right into the Battlestar Galactica universe. The one thing that I really do enjoy, actually let me show you some gameplay instead of just, the one thing I really do enjoy is how you feel like you're in charge of the fleet. You feel like you're the admiral controlling, 3 or 5 or 10 battle stars, and you're in charge of saving the human race from the Cylon threats. And that goes to the story as well as designing a great UI, making beautiful ships. So all those come in as a big factor. The next thing I would have to say is there's a lot of strategies in this game. So I would have to point out here. So if you go into turrets, which is the main guns, right? Each one has their own specific, like right here, this has a very low fire rate, but the damage it provides is a lot. But the left and right guns provide little damage, but they have a high rate of fire and a lot more accuracy. So you have to customize your basically strategy. So if I want to get the top guns, I would have to kind of go lower on the Z-axis. So instead of left and right, I also have to consider this Z-axis. And of course, Battlestars, I want to get the top guns on. So the further they go down the Z-axis, the better they can hit these Cylons. So I got a lot more pros, guys. I just have to go down the list here. Another thing is the music. Listen to music. I'm actually going to do another turn so you can get better. You can hear these sound and audio effects transition from this, where it's a little bit more relaxing, where you're making your orders, to this. So if you can notice that subtle changes, they put a lot of effort into the musical and sound scores of this game. I'll actually have to take you back to the main screen where you could actually hear the amazing musical score that they made for this. All original, but it feels like it's straight from the show, but it's all just recently created. So, but it's all inspired from the television show. I got literally tons of them, so I'm gonna put in also the voiceovers on the campaign mission where you have Admiral Kane, Doc Cottle, and I'm gonna flip over to a clip here showing you it.
This is bigger than some political squabble, you ass. There are people down there that need urgent medical assistance. Your people.
Enough! Commander, if the Sagittarians fire on Colonial Fleet forces, give them a traitor's sentence.
So yeah, that is incredible. The level of, they sound real. They sound, they sound straight from the universe. And I love how familiar they are, because Doc Cottle is, I believe the Doc Cottle from the TV show. Kane, I believe, is probably somehow related from the Kane from the television show, if you guys watched all the way up to season 2, season 3. But it's nice to see these familiar characters in this first Cylon War. The next thing I wanted to mention, another pro here, is the graphics. The animations are absolutely gorgeous. So let me show you a little bit more. This focus fire here actually, so you can get a little bit better idea what I'm talking about. And I'll fire some missiles so you guys can get some animations there. So
missiles incoming. This is taking damage.
As you can see, that was pretty insane. And as you can see here with the UI, you have to kind of manage everything. My navigation's been completely destroyed, so you have to keep on these repairs. You have defensive and offensive postures that you have to that will help you in combat. So help you fire more batteries, or take a more defensive posture. So going into other pros here. I mentioned very immersive. The campaign storyline, I don't want to give anything away because it's incredible. Usually I'm not crazy about the campaigns because a lot of games that I play, the campaigns are just okay. Some are the campaign on here makes me want to play. It just builds and builds and builds, and it just gets more and more interesting. And all I will tell you guys, the Cylons are not the only threats that you will face. It gets very, very serious and very, very cool. So I just want to point that out there. It's an incredible storyline. The way they wrote it and implemented it is incredible. And I think one of the last few pros that I have, I'm going down the list here, is the AI in here is very smart. I'm gonna put this out here a little bit. This is a tactical mode, which is comes in a bit handy every so often. So I will tell you this one thing. I'm not gonna tell you which mission it is at because I don't want to spoil anything, right? In this one mission, I had a precious, target of mine, asset of mine here, and the Cylons FTL here, right? And my fleet went out to meet him, because obviously, right, you know, I want to send my fleet to destroy the Cylons and keep my sensitive, very important asset here, away from the battle. Well, guess what? As soon as I sent my fleet to the Cylons, they FTL'd right alongside my asset and nearly destroyed it. It was almost game over. I had to have my ship's whole ass back. So, yeah. It was I mean, the AI thinks, you know, and some of this is scripted events, but even on a tactical mode where I'm playing here, the AI is very smart. It will try to knock out, it will adapt to your strategies, I've noticed. So, you know, if I'm here, actually I don't have much of a strategy, but it will adapt to your strategy and engage you. There was a couple of times where one Cylon ship was on the verge of falling apart, and it kamikazed my ship. And I only had about 2 or 3 ships, so loss of one ship was a serious hit to my fleet. And Cylons have been known to do that, and it makes sense because, you know, they're machines. They don't have, you know, them losing one ship, they can just reprogram another ship to take its place. We can't do that. We have human beings aboard here. You know, we can't just replicate human beings in, you know, some kind of computer. So it makes sense, and I really love that they included that because it adds a level of realism that is amazing. The other thing I would have to mention is the addicting gameplay. I would say about 60% of my time is playing these skirmish modes here.
Artemis is taking damage.
So it's very addicting playing it. As you can see, there's a lot going on the screen. I
Lost an Artemis.
Yeah, that's not good. I lost an Artemis really quickly. So, yeah, I play about 60% of my time on this because it's so addicting. Just getting into the tactical modes and seeing the Battlestars open fire and such is incredible. Okay, and in terms of the cons, I only have one, and I have one wish list, okay? Okay, guys, and in terms of the cons, I only have one. So the only con that I have is, so when you're designing your fleet, and you can basically make any changes you want, so you can go in, you can remove this ship, or you can add another ship. Let's see, modify fleets, go in here, I can add a Raptor, I can add another ship, add another Battlestar, and you can save your fleet, and well, if I added enough points, so I can save the fleet here, and back here, click continue. Now I have my fleet, but the only thing that I didn't like is that you can't choose who you want to fight against. You only have these preset fleets, so if I just want to fight 2 base stars, I can't do that. I have to take this entire fleet along with it. And I wish there was a way that I can just select 1 or 2 base stars, because there are some scenarios, some skirmishes that I just want to have put like 1 or 2 battle stars against maybe 4 base stars and see what happens. So things like that is why I made this as a con, but it's a small one. It's hopefully something that they'll add over time. And in terms of a wish list, this beautiful, gorgeous ship. One thing I would love to be able to do in the campaign mode is to upgrade my ships over time. So when you build this ship, this is the specs that you get. But I would love, so over the course of the campaign, I can add more armor to its rear plating, or add more, armor to its top or bottom plating, or add maybe more turrets to the ship. So instead of these H, I would have more up here and more on this pylon, and basically make a super Battlestar in essence, and I think it would give the game a lot more, I would say, flexibility in terms of the campaign. You could have a very large fleet full of 4 or 5 Battlestars, or you could take those resources and make 2 heavy, fully loaded Battlestars, super Battlestars that you can go toe-to-toe with the Cylon fleet, and I think that would add a new dimension to the game. So my final verdict. After playing numerous hours of this game, I have to mention that this is the best Battlestar Galactica game I've ever played. Not only is the best Battlestar Galactica game I've ever played, it is the best strategy game I've played this decade. It is an incredible thing to say. However, it brought everything I wanted. As a Battlestar Galactica fan, it brought everything I wanted into a game. A campaign mode, incredible skirmish mode, the UI, the sound, the music, the voiceover characters, the gameplay, the Z-axis being adding to the strategy, animation, ship models brought in the old Battlestar and the new Battlestar. I mean, they just brought everything into this game. So it's the best strategy game of the decade, I have to mention. This is the one game that when I come home, I need to get my hands on it and play hours. So if you are looking to get your Battlestar Galactica on, as well as play an incredible strategy game, this is it. This is definitely, at least for me and everybody else that's interested in Battlestar Galactica, as well as getting a great strategy game, a must buy. So that does it for me for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you in the next one. See you then.
So say we all.
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 So say we all.